we are going to learn about the page properties. So I'll first tell you what are page properties. Children, Word offers you the features to set the page properties. What are the page properties? Like setting the margin, setting the page orientation, setting page size, and much more. So we start with page margins. Children, what is margin? Margin is basically the space between the text and the edge of your document. So I'm talking about the left edge of the document right now. So by default, the new document margin are set to normal, which means it has 1 inch space. Remember, it is 1 inch space between the text and each edge, whether it is a left edge or the right edge, right? Now, depending on the user's need, sometimes you want the edges to be smaller, sometimes you want the edges to be bigger. So it completely depends on the need of the user. You can set your document margin size, right? And now I'll tell you how to set the margins using the ruler bars. Okay, so get ready. To change the left or right margin, point to the margin boundary on the horizontal ruler. So we are first going on the horizontal ruler. Okay, now when the pointer changes to the double-headed arrow. So when you click there, you'll get a double-headed arrow. So this is a double-headed arrow. It looks like this, okay? So here also we have a head and here also we have a head. Just drag the margin boundary as per your need, and to change the top or the bottom margin, point to the margin boundary on the vertical ruler. And when the pointer changes to the double-headed arrow, just drag the margin boundary as per your requirement. Now, to specify the exact margin measurement, where you know we want this much specific margin of your left and right document. For that, you have to click on the layout tab. You select the layout tab, and in that you have a click. This is the margin. You just click on the margin option, which comes in the page setup group. Okay. Now there is a drop down list of the option which appears to you. This is a drop down. So there is a normal option which is selected by default. So by default you could see that the option is coming normal, but we want to make certain changes to it. So just select any predefined margin setting which you want to do, or there is another way to do it. Just select this custom margin tab and type the values for the top, bottom, left and right, and even the gutter margins, or simply click the spin boxes to set the margin. So here what we can change is, you can change the measurement of the left, right, top, bottom, gutter positions. Okay, so these all could be set, and then you apply to the drop down list and choose the option that it has to be applicable to the whole document. So here is a drop down option. You want to apply it to the whole document, you want to apply it to the selected document, you want to apply it to the certain pages. You have different options here. After doing it, just go to OK and it is implemented. Now, very useful and interesting feature, that is page orientation. So what is page orientation, children? I'll first tell you. Your Word offers 2 page orientation options. One is whether you want the page to come in the landscape, and another is portrait. So what is landscape and portrait? When you talk about landscape, it means the page is oriented horizontally. Suppose you have a A4 size page, you can write the page in this way, or you can put the page in this way. Okay, so if it is horizontal, we call it a landscape. If it is vertically placed like this, we call it the portrait page orientation. Got it? Now, you have to follow the given steps to change the page orientation. What will you do? You will first go to the layout tab, right? Click on the layout tab and then there click on the orientation button which exists in the page setup group. That means we'll first go to the layout tab, we'll search the page setup group. In the page setup group, you are going to the orientation button. And then we find a drop down menu which will appear, and just choose whether you want to go for the portrait or landscape. And accordingly, you can observe the change in the presentation of your document. Now next comes the size of the page. So choosing the size of the page is completely your choice when you're working with MS Word 2016. So let's see, by default the page size of the new document is always 8.5 inches to 11 inches. It depends upon your project. What is the size of the printout which you are going to take, right? You may need to adjust your document page size. So for changing the page size, let's see what has to be done. First, go to the layout tab. There you click on the size button which exists on the page setup group, right? That means in the layout tab, first we go to the page setup and then we select the size, and the list of papers option appears there. So the current paper size is already highlighted. Like this is the automatic default size of the paper. Okay, it's already highlighted over there. In the drop down list, it appears there. Okay, and accordingly, you can make the changes, right? The paper size of the document changes as per your choice. It could be A3, it could be A4, it could be A5, anything you want. It is available there depending on the printers you are using, where the papers could be placed inside. Got it? And it could be done in another way also. Click on page setup dialog box. The page setup dialog box will appear. Then click on the paper tab. Select the desired size of the paper size, and don't forget to see the preview. The preview comes there. So just see the preview, whatever page you are selecting, the preview will be visible to you. See which preview suits your requirement, and then finally you click on OK button, right? Now, how to do the preview of the document? Before we take the printout of the document, we need to first see how the document actually looks like. So that's called the previewing of the document, and Microsoft Word 2016 gives you the permission to take the preview of the document before you go for the printing. So we need to follow certain steps. What are the steps? Just click on the File tab, right? And then select the Print option. So print will not directly print your result. Remember it, there exists a preview button. So the preview of the document automatically appears on the right side of the window. Okay. Now we view the each page. Click on the navigation button, like this is one of one. Suppose there are 10 pages. You keep on clicking the arrows. You keep on navigating to the next page, and you will keep looking at the preview of the pages. And even you can magnify the view of the page. There is a zoom slider available there. So there is a zoom slider bar which exists on the top right corner here. It is appearing here. So you can just zoom and see how your it's here, how your document looks like. So it is showing the document in percentage. Okay. Any doubt? No, right. And after that, if you want to print more than one copy of the document, you also have a feature. You can just choose between the collated and uncollated options in the setting options. Okay. So there is a setting section. In the setting section, you are going to choose collated and uncollated. So if you look at this preview screen, here we have a navigation button which will show you, like here you can see one of two. That means you have presently opened the first page. If you right click, your second page will be visible. And how the document looks, it will be visible on the zoom slider. Right? Now, if there are 10 pages in the document and you want to print 4 copies, then the collated option will print the complete copy of the document. Right? And it will be starting from pages 1 to 10. And then we will again start printing the next copy. Now, what about uncollated? When you talk about uncollated option, it will print all the 4 copies of the first page and then 4 copies of the second page, 4 copies of the third page. That's called the uncollated form of the printing. And this way, the subsequent pages will be printed one after another. Such a nice feature. We can use these tools as per our requirement. And now we come at the printing of the document. So I'll just tell you first, we have a shortcut key, that is Control P, to print the document. And when you are going to choose the steps, we will first select the file tab and then the backstage view of the screen will be appearing, where you have a print option. There you choose the printer. From the printer properties, it has drop down list. Now enter the number of copies in the spin box. So under the settings section, click on the arrow next to print all pages to choose the given option. So just selecting print all pages option will print the entire document. But when you have to select the print selection option, it will print only the selected text from the document. So there you can mention starting from which page and going up to which page, right? So selecting the print current page prints only the selected page from your document. Understood? And then choosing the custom print. There is an option of custom print as well. It prints the specified range. Suppose page number 10 to page number 35. So that means the pages before 10 will not be printed, pages after 35 will not be printed. So that's called the custom print. And just after selecting all the required option, click on the print button. Your output will come in the form of hard copy. So very interesting journey, isn't it? Yes, I could see you have learned a lot about the MS Word 2016 special features today. Just keep trying them, exploring them, and do this exercise yourself. I know you are confident enough to complete it by your own, right? So before we say goodbye, let's quickly recall what we have learned so far. First thing we have learned is MS Word 2016 is a word processing application, and there exists a format painter tool. You remember we learned about this format painter tool in the previous video, where we used to copy and apply the text formatting of the particular format in the another selection. And we also learned about line spacing in the previous video, where we learned how to give the line spacing between the consecutive lines of the selected document, and a margin. What is a margin? It is a space between the text and the edges of the document. So, very happy to see your smiles, and I know we'll be meeting ahead with such more treasures. And till then, goodbye and happy learning.